All right, let's consider a long division, polynomial division problem like this. Excuse me. So notice, first of all, it's this polynomial divided by that polynomial. So I would set it up like this, and notice I'm going to use placeholders even in my divisor. So x squared plus 1 becomes x squared plus 0x plus 1, because if I have the degree of 2 here, I want to have every degree represented. So this is degree 2, and this is degree 0, so I need the 0x term there as a placeholder. So I'm going to do that. The other thing I'm going to do is I will use a placeholder here as well. So I'm going to have a 0x cubed because I have an x to the fourth and then an x squared. I need an x cubed term. By doing this, you help keep things lined up, and trust me, that is probably the most crucial part of getting this right, is keeping things lined up so you're subtracting the correct terms from one another, the like terms from one another. So that problem looks like this. So this divided by this means this divided by that. So the divisor goes here, the dividend goes here, and the quotient will go up here, and then we'll have our remainder. So what you're going to do is you're going to think about just this term and just that term right there. So what could we put up here times x squared that would be exactly x to the fourth? Hopefully you realize that that's x squared. X squared times x squared is x to the fourth. So we're going to go ahead and do that multiplication. But we're also going to multiply x squared times 0x, which is 0x cubed. And we're also going to do x squared times 1, which is 1x squared. Now I'm going to put this in parentheses, and we're going to subtract. So this minus this is, of course, 0. Of course, this is 0. And then I have negative 4x squared minus 1x squared. So that's a negative 4x squared and a negative 1x squared. So that's negative 5x squared. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring this 3x down. And I'm also going to bring this 5 down so that I don't forget about them. So this is what I have at this point. Now I'm going to go again, but this time I'm looking just here and there. So what could I put up here times x squared that would be at exactly negative 5x squared? Well, that's going to be negative 5. So negative 5 times x squared is negative 5x squared. So I do that. And then also I have to do negative 5 times that. So that's 0 x. And then I do negative 5 times 1, which is negative 5. So anyway, when I subtract, of course, I'm going to put this in parentheses and subtract. This minus this ends up being 0 because a minus a negative is a positive. So a positive and a negative are going to cancel each other out. 3x minus 0x is just 3x. And then, of course, 5 minus negative 5 is 10. So I have positive 10 there because 5 minus a negative is a positive. So it's 5 plus 5, which is 10. So that's what I have there. And notice, as I look here and here, there isn't anything I could put up here times x squared that would give me 3x. This is how I know that I'm finished. So my final answer is going to be this as a quotient. And then let me show you how we write that answer normally. So normally we write that answer like this: x squared minus 5. So there's that part, and that's because of this quotient up here. The quotient up here. And then we say plus, and we use this remainder, 3x plus 10, and we write it as a fraction. And the original thing was x squared plus 1 from up there. I could write this whole thing with a placeholder, but it's not necessary. So my answer is this. So this is the quotient, and this is how I write the remainder as a fraction using this over that. So 3x plus 10 over x squared plus 1. So this is my final answer. So this is polynomial long division. The thing to be most careful about is the subtraction here. If I had room, if I was using a piece of paper and had room over here in the margin, I would write those out horizontally when I subtracted. Some people go ahead and distribute the negative here, which is a good idea, and then they just add straight down. That's a real good idea. Also, you can do that. That might be the easiest thing, is distribute the negative and then just add straight down the terms. So that's an excellent idea as well. Try this and see if you get this answer, and look back at the explanation if you're not able to come to this answer that we have here. See ya.